Hello, we are in Bristol in Snake Park. This is a very special area near the Downs where we had the chance to live for a period of 3 years with our family when we moved to UK to work externally as psychologist and doctor, and internally to work with the inner mystery school from Albalon that had some plans for us. And this is the house where we have been living for 3 years, and where several magic things happened. One of the first friends and inner allies that we had when we moved into the house was this very, very dear Silver Birch tree. This is a very, very special tree for me because it was the first tree that actually communicated with me. It was the first tree that contacted me and started speaking to me, and by the means of our association, I could get in touch with other beings from the world of the trees. This Silver Birch started speaking to me while we have been living in the house for, I would say, around 9-10 months, and we thought we would have to move because the owners of the house, which we were renting, wanted to put it in the market and sell it, and they told us that they would stop the contract. And I thought it was not the exact time for us to move, and I felt it inside my heart, but I couldn't corroborate this into the facts in the outside world. And one day when I was cooking in the kitchen, I used to, in the morning, before everybody else in the house woke, I was sometimes drinking some tea, or after driving the children to school, I would just sit with a cup of tea and look at the Silver Birch tree and think, what a beautiful specimen. Look at all the branches coming down and all the leaves that are swinging in the wind, and it had this special noise with the wind that we now hear. And one day I was looking at it saying, oh, what a beautiful tree, well, how wonderful it is to have him as a friend. And I started listening to him speak back to me, and I would say to her, because I now understand that she has a more female presence, but both are there. These trees at the same time female and male, and as you see, it has the particularity of this tree is that it has two main branches going up. It's as if there were two trees coming out from the same roots and climbing up to the sky. And this is a tree that helped me to work with duality. The first words that he told me were, I am the spirit of the house, and I am your ally. You have become my friend during this time, and I like your family. You and your family living here in this house. I am the guardian of the house. And he is actually the guardian. He is standing at the front gate of the house, and he is giving his blessing and also making sure that the appropriate people enter in the temple of the house. And he told me, don't worry, you won't have to move from the house now. We have a contract to be together for 3 years, and this is a time that we will make sure that you stay here. And I thought it was just weird to hear the tree in my head. But then months went by, and things turned out the way my friend had share with me. And as time passed by, our relationship was strengthened, and I started to communicate in a silent way with him, her, on daily basis, and we became really very, very, very close friends. Eventually, he also opened the possibility to communicate with other beings from the tree world and the plant world as well. And today I come back. We no longer live in this house, but I come back to express my gratitude, to pay visits to my friend, because I feel that even if we are apart, even if we don't interact on a daily basis now, she is part of my life, and I have a piece of his presence wherever I am. I can communicate and find him inside when I go deep into the sacred space of my heart. But at the same time, it's always very nice to see its physical form again and again. So this is my first friend from the world of the trees, at least the first one that I could hear clearly, and I'm full of gratitude for his presence, her friendship, and I come today to tell him again that we remain friends and that he has a place always in my heart. The Silver Birch is a tree that has always been very, very, very special to human beings. It's a tree of the beginnings. It starts a new phase in the history of human beings. It starts a new phase in the history of the world, and also it starts new periods within a human's life. And the Celts, the ancient inhabitants of this land, which who had a very deep connections with the tree world, they knew this. So we know now that the Silver Birch was called the Lady of the Woods because the tree has a very feminine presence. If you look at the tree and the branches and the leaves, they move with the wind. And when they move, they sing a kind of tune that awakens the spirit of the earth, of nature. It was considered a tree of the beginning because in the ancient worlds after the Ice Age, where the whole of Europe was covered with ice, the first big tree that appeared was the Silver Birch, and it started again the alliance with the humanity. The trees' first alliance were with a race of big giants that inhabited these islands that were called the Tatua de Doanan. They were the ones, originally from Lemuria, who taught the human race, as our race now through the Celts, the secret of the trees and how to bond an alliance with their world. The Lady of the Woods is a tree that celebrates its time that a human being is born within the family of friendship and alliances they have in the clan. And in the past, the wood of this tree, which is at the same time protective and very soft, was the one that was used to build the sleeping beds for the newborn babies in the community of the Celts. This is a very sacred tree that is and worshipped in a way for the festival of the new year for the Celts. And this happens in Samhain, which is the festivity on November 1st. This is the new year of the Celts. Now we know it, this period of the year, and that's why it's very important to be here with our friend today. This period of the year was a period of high purification, and the Celts knew this. The nature was going slowly deep into sleep, and it was a time to purify and heal our bodies. And for that, they used to eat less, drink water, and take the elements and the fruits and the little fruits that the autumn was offering them to purify internally their physical bodies. It is a time of the year that calls for silence. The nature slowly goes to sleep. So it was a period from the 22nd of October to the 1st November that the Celts went inside into deep silence to also purify their feelings, grudges or feelings that attach them to the past. They also use this period to clean their minds, no, of thoughts that do not represent them anymore in the present. And also is a time where they went back to honor their ancestors. And this time ended with a big celebration on the day of Samhain, on the 1st of November. And this tree, the Silver Birch, was a tree that was a special tree for this festivity. This tree is called like that because during the day it can reflect, as every object, it can reflect the sun of the light of the sun, but it has the particularity that its bark at night also reflects the light of the moon. So in the days of full moon, the Silver Birch is like a silver needle in the woods, swinging with the wind. And that's why its presence was so sacred, to call the tree the Silver Lady of the Woods. So it's a protective tree. It's a tree that puts us in contact with the feminine aspect of nurturing of the woods. It's a tree that allows us to cleanse them inside and purify, to start a new beginning every year. Especially, it is a tree that represents the letter B in the alphabet of the Celts, and is sometimes it's considered the first letter, because the vowel A is considered in another special kind of letters. So it's the trees of the beginning, and every beginning needs to start afresh and purify from the old. So this is what this tree allows us and teaches us. In his her presence, we can purify, calm our emotional and mental bodies, swing our physical bodies with the melodies and the tunes of its moving arms and branches, and prepare to start a new adventure in life, I would say. So this is what this wonderful tree brings as a present to us. from the deep heart of nature.